So this is totally what I deal with when I bring Atlas in out of the cold. He wants to take over my bed every time, like it's his bed, not mine. And as you can see, he is not a small dog. I mean, he's not huge, but he's not small either. And he suddenly thinks it's his bed. It's a good thing I love him, but oh my goodness. And he would chew up everything, because see, he's chewing up my blanket now. Hey everybody, so this is going to be a little bit of a catching up video. I've still got some other videos that I want to make, but this one I want to do my Princess Half Marathon Corral placement and some January accomplishments. So I'm going to start off with my Princess Half Marathon Corral placement. The Run Disney placed the waivers online yesterday, and I am in Corral H, which kind of pretty much puts me in the middle of the pack. For anybody watching who doesn't know how Run Disney does their corral placements, I just wanted to explain it a little bit. What it is you are actually in a corral, and it almost makes you feel like cattle because there are so many people there. But they group you by what your anticipated finishing time would be. So they don't want the really fast people to necessarily be in the back with all the people walking it, or so that they have to pass a lot of walkers. So they put the faster people in the front, the slower people in the back, or slower paced people in the back. Every race that I have done at Disney has had different a different amount of time between corrals, so I can't really say how much they put between corrals, because the first half marathon that I did down there in 2013, there was seriously probably 10 to 12 minutes between corrals. And then when I did the Tower of Terror 10 miler in 2014, they were like sending them off like bam, 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 like every 3 to 4 minutes, I think. The Princess was kind of somewhere in between. It wasn't as long as the 10 to 12, but it wasn't as short as the 3 or 4. So it just kind of depends. But they'll start Corral A and then move Corral B up and start Corral B, and then etc, etc, etc. And the corrals go to Corral P for Princess. So like I said, the farther back you are. The reason why I like being in a corral closer to the front is because you have more of a buffer. You have to maintain a 16-minute per mile pace, and they're very strict about that with the half marathon. I don't think that they're quite as strict about it with the 5K, and I don't know about the 10K, but I don't think they're quite as strict about it with the 5K, but they are with the half marathons. But that 16-minute mile pace doesn't begin until the last starter crosses the start line. So if you're in Corral A, you're gonna have like an hour buffer, so you're really probably gonna have, you know, a 25 or 30 minute mile pace, which, you know, if you're in Corral A, you're probably not going to need that unless you did happen to get injured or something like that, heaven forbid. But it is kind of nice to have that little bit of a buffer there just in case. And you kind of, the further up in the corrals you are, if you're wanting to get pictures with characters, you're going to have a lot shorter lines, because like the very first half marathon I ran there, I was in Corral C, and there was hardly any lines at all when I got to characters. But like the 10 miler and last year, I can't remember what corral I started out in. It was about the same though. I'm thinking like G or H, and the lines were a little bit longer. I mean, nothing like horrific, but you know, they were starting to get long. So the higher up, the less people have gotten to them, so the more likely you are to have time to stop for pictures if you want pictures. But anyway, so that is kind of how at least my knowledge of the corrals work. There are probably people out there who know more, but just my knowledge of, you know, the several races that I've done, that's how they've worked. As far as my January accomplishments, I have a few. When I never set New Year's resolutions, because to me it's just like, you know, I can do that any time of year. Like I can make a decision to change something that I'm doing. But this year I did want to try and stick more to a budget and try and save a little bit more money, because there are things that I want that I need to save money for. And I'm a pretty good saver anyway. Like if I want something bad enough, I'll buy it. But I've always been kind of like a saver and put things back for the rainy day. But I just decided that this year I wanted to really stick to it and really save as much as I could. So I have increased my savings account without going into numbers. I was able to boost my savings account. Like, I have a savings goal in mind, and I put about 13% of that in the month of January. Of course, it helps that I got my income tax refund back, and that was probably about 7.5% to 8% of that 13%. But still, I also lost 6 pounds without even trying. I really don't know exactly why, because I haven't watched one single calorie I put in my mouth. I wasn't really trying to lose weight because I'm okay with where I'm at. I kind of like to tone up a little bit, but that's another story entirely. But I lost 6 pounds, and the only thing I can contribute it to is that I haven't really been eating out. I'll go out to eat with my parents on Friday. I'll go out to eat after church on Sunday. And that's pretty much it. And I have a friend that I usually go eat with every other Thursday night. So that's it. So I guess maybe me staying away from like deep fried food and things like that has helped me cut the calories without even counting calories. And so I've lost 6 pounds. I also was able to up my savings and even go beyond the amount that I had intended to save out of every paycheck. And since I wasn't eating out, I was able to put some of my food budget back into my savings account. And I've been really watching like what I can save using coupons, specials that certain places have during, you know, different days, that kind of thing. And doing that, I managed to save $30 because I've been keeping track just so I could see. And that's even like gas, like Walmart, you know, if you use their gift card to buy the gas, you can save 3 cents per gallon. So I actually managed to save $30. Now, part of that was my car insurance, and so by paying it for six months instead of 3, I saved $12. So that's, you know, about half of the 30, but it's still savings. Other accomplishment that I had is in my princess training, I did 75 miles in just training miles in the month of January. That includes running, walking, like I said, just exercise in general. That's not just my daily walking. So I'm really proud of that. It's not quite as high as 1 month last summer. I think I had a little over 100 miles, but 75 is definitely way up there in the amount of training miles. That's really all I wanted to catch you up on. This video is getting kind of up there in the minutes. But anyway, hope you guys have had a great day, and I will catch up with you tomorrow. Bye.